All right, so today we're jumping into a really fascinating debate that totally blew up online. It pits Chinese dramas against Korean dramas over one single, pretty powerful idea: what actually makes the perfect on-screen couple. And honestly, it's a conversation that tells us so much about what we, as viewers, are really looking for in the stories we love.
So let's just start right there with that big question. What do you think makes a perfect on-screen couple? Is it that raw, undeniable chemistry? Is it amazing acting talent from both sides? Or is it something a little more, visual? This exact question is right at the heart of a viral discussion that has fans of both C-dramas and K-dramas weighing in, and they've got some strong opinions.
It all kicked off with what looked like a super simple post. Someone on social media just came out and said it: the single biggest strength of Chinese dramas is something they called Dutch face. And those two words, that one phrase, it went completely viral and lit the fuse for this massive international debate.
So, what on earth is Dutch face? Well, it's actually a pretty clever idea when you think about it. The original poster broke it down like this. Think of the term Dutch pay, right? Where everyone at the dinner table splits the bill equally. Dutch face takes that same exact idea and applies it to how the actors look. It means both leads, the man and the woman, are equally stunningly gorgeous. They're splitting the visual appeal right down the middle, 50-50, creating this perfectly balanced, super attractive pair.
Now, you know how the internet works. The second that Dutch face was used to praise C-dramas, people immediately started drawing comparisons. And the first, most obvious place to look for a comparison, well, that would be the global television powerhouse that is Korean drama.
And boom. This reply it hit the nail on the head for a lot of people. It also went viral and perfectly summed up the counter-argument that was starting to build. Netizens began pointing to what they saw as a casting trend in a lot of K-dramas. The feeling wasn't exactly subtle. People were seriously questioning a pattern of pairing these incredibly beautiful actresses with male leads who, at least in their eyes, didn't quite match up visually and often seemed a whole lot older.
So this whole argument really boils down to two main things. First, there's this feeling of a visual imbalance, the idea that the main couple just doesn't feel like they're on the same level looks-wise. And the second point, which is often tied right into the first one, is about those really noticeable age gaps you sometimes see between the lead actors. For a pretty vocal part of the audience, this wasn't just a one-off thing. They saw it as a recurring casting choice that felt more and more strange, mostly because it made it harder for them to buy into the romance.
But okay, let's just pause here for a second. Why does any of this matter so much? I mean, isn't it just about wanting to see attractive people on screen? Well, what the debate showed is that it actually goes way, way deeper than that. It gets to the very core of why we even watch these stories in the first place.
And this right here, this comment gets to the absolute heart of the issue. It explains the impact perfectly. What this person is saying is, when they can't believe in the couple's attraction on a basic visual level, they can't connect with the character's emotions. That critical moment in the story where the female lead is supposed to be falling head over heels, getting those butterflies, it just falls flat. The viewer is sitting there thinking, really? For him? And just like that, the magic is gone.
So here is the absolute key to this whole debate. It's all about viewer immersion. Immersion is that magic state, It's when you completely forget you're sitting on your couch watching a show, and you feel like you're right there, living in that world. For these viewers, a casting choice that feels weirdly unbalanced or just plain unbelievable, it's like a brick wall. It yanks them right out of the story and reminds them, oh yeah, I'm just watching actors. It shatters the illusion, and for a romance, that illusion is everything.
And this slide just lays it all out so perfectly. The whole conversation in one single shot. Over on the one side, you've got the C-drama ideal, that Dutch face concept that's all about visual equals. Then on the other side, you have the criticism that was aimed at a perceived K-drama trend, visual disparity and those significant age gaps. This contrast, right here, is what fueled thousands and thousands of comments online.
Okay, so let's bring this all together. What does a viral debate about how attractive actors are really tell us? Well, it builds to a much bigger, more fundamental question about how our entertainment gets made, and maybe more importantly, who it's being made for.
So, to just quickly recap how we got here. It all started with a really simple, catchy phrase, Dutch face, that was used to praise Chinese dramas. That immediately sparked a comparison with Korean dramas, where viewers pointed out what they felt was the opposite trend. And when you dig down, the whole thing boils down to one critical idea: how incredibly important viewer immersion is for a story, especially a romance, to feel real and emotionally powerful.
And that leaves us with this big, final thought to chew on.
In the world of making TV and movies, where do you draw the line? How much should this need for audience immersion, this desire for a believable on-screen couple, actually influence who gets cast in a role? Should it be the #1 factor? Or does it take a back seat to things like an actor's raw talent, a director's specific vision, or maybe just the box office power of a big star? This whole Dutch face debate has really opened up a fascinating window into what audiences are craving, leaving the industry with a really interesting question to think about.